Charlie do Bronx. Charles Oliveira should retire in my opinion, and I will give you my explanation why I came to that conclusion in this video. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA. Charles Oliveira, one of my favorite fighters ever to watch. I have a signed glove of him here. I'm an absolute fan of this guy. I love this guy, and that's why I want him to retire. This is not a video where I say you suck, boom, roasted.
You suck, boom, roasted.
That's why you should retire. No, this is completely out of love to Charles Oliveira, and I will tell you why. So first of all, we have the 35 and older statistic, right? Normally, especially in title fights, 35 and older guys do not win any title fights. They also, against younger guys in general, have a hard time winning fights in the lightweight division and lower and all of that. So time is already his enemy. He's not getting any younger. He's out of his prime, that's for sure. And he's getting into that age now where the damage will wear even harder on him.
I'm old.
And the damage is exactly the reason why I think he should retire. Let's just take a look at his record real quick. He has 11 losses, 5 of them by KO. Let's go through his last few fights, right? Because you have to see, first of all,
Here's the thing, you guys.
what adds to the argument is Shootbox, the Jimmy trains at, is famous for hard sparring. They're famous that they drop each other constantly in sparring, that they spar so hard that the fight then is easy, which is absolutely stupid in terms of your health and longevity. It has some kind of, you can maybe argue that, yeah, of course, you might be more prepared in the fight, but your chin is only gonna get weaker and your brain cells are only gonna get less.
Brain damage.
You know what I mean? So it's just stupid. And I'm sure he took a lot of damage in training already. His last fight, he got knocked out completely cold, 2 follow-up shots by Ilia Topuria. Severe brain damage there. Against Michael Chandler, he got dropped in this fight as well by Michael Chandler, the last one. Got a couple of shots to the back of the head as well, which was perfect, obviously, for his brain health. Against Arman Tsarukyan, I don't think he got dropped there as far as I remember, but yeah, was also a tough fight, right? Against Beneil Dariush, that was a very nice win without really getting much brain damage. Perfect. Islam Makhachev got dropped, got finished after he got dropped, right? You have to see, knockdowns are not to be taken slightly. It's not that it's much better than getting knocked out, because you will get up again and take more shots again, which is why boxing is so bad, because you have, even if you get knocked out for real, you have 10 seconds to get up and kind of clear the cobwebs and fight again. And Charles does that same thing when he gets knocked down, obviously not knocked out, by laying on his back, kind of realizing where he is and then getting back up again. So against Islam, he got dropped. Against Gaethje, he got dropped. Against Poirier, he got dropped. Against Michael Chandler, the first fight, he got dropped. And in all of those fights, it took severe damage after the drops as well. Against Tony Ferguson, I don't remember that he got dropped there, but like in so many fights, even before that, he got dropped in those fights. He's famous for getting knocked down and kind of coming back, which is awesome for the fans to watch and all of that. And it's a very cool hero story, comeback story, whatever. But you have to look at your brain, because you are only human. Charles might be a little bit special, a little bit genetically gifted or something, but you as well have a functioning human brain. And that brain can only take so much. That brain will get damaged every time you get knocked down or get knocked out. And I do care for Charles. I want him to be a healthy, happy guy in the future. And that's exactly the reason why I think he should retire, because he will not win any belts anymore. I can guarantee you Charles Oliveira will never be a champion again. And I do think that knockout against Ilia will catch up to him if he continues to fight. I do think that his chin will be even weaker now. He was never famous for a good chin. He will be even weaker now. His chin will be even weaker now. And as I said, he won't win a belt ever again. And if you won't ever win a belt again, there's nothing more to fight for. He already won the belt, defended it 3 times as far as I remember, made millions and millions of dollars. He's set up for life. And that's what matters. He can provide for him and his family for his whole entire life. He will be in the UFC Hall of Fame. He will always have a lot of sponsorship opportunities because he's such a fan favorite. He will always have the opportunities to make money outside of the cage as well. And that's exactly what he should do. He should say, hey, I am done with fighting. I don't need to take any more damage just to please the fans because they want to see me fight again. Of course, I would love to see Charles fight again, but I say that completely. I take my ego away completely what I want, and I just try to look at Charles and try to care for him. What is best for him, and what's best for him, of course, he will make some more money if he continues to fight and add more millions to the bank maybe. But that's nothing against your health. Now it's time to care about your long-term health. You have several kids now, you have a wife. You want to be able to remember their names and be able to talk with them when you're 70 years old. You don't want to talk like Nate Diaz in a few years, you know what I mean? So I just think there's no real big benefit for him in continuing to compete. I do think he will not win a title ever again, and I do think he maybe has a couple of fights left in him where he maybe even wins a fight, but probably gets knocked down there again. And I do think against those younger guys, the chances are there that he gets knocked out again. For what? For $300,000-400,000? Of course, it's a lot of money, but if you have millions in the bank already, is that worth your health? I just think that it would be the smartest decision for Charles to just retire, because then you retire at the top, which is where he deserves to retire. And as I said, this is not from the standpoint of a fan that wants to still see him fight, which is obviously the case. As I said, I would still love to see him fight, but I do think the smartest decision for him and his family is to just retire and continue to be around the MMA space, continue to be at UFC events, maybe be a commentator for UFC Brazil, whatever, and just take care of your health. This is my take, my opinion, right? Your opinion, your takes in the comments, you guys. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, would appreciate that. Check out all the links in the bio, the Twitch streams, the watch-alongs, all of that. Check it out, you guys. Stay bloody, and until the next one, bye-bye. Bloodsport out.